Hello, my name is Laconbacon and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be going back in time, traveling all the way to the 1940s, and reading some books this week. This is a little thing that I've done for myself. Starting in January on my little bitty bookstagram, I got the idea of, since it was the new 20s, it was now 2020, I would read through the decades up until now, because it's a brand new decade. And I would start with the 1920s. Truly, I was just finding an excuse to reread The Great Gatsby, but it was just a fun little thing that I was doing for myself. And in January, I read a couple books, either written or set in the 1920s. In February, I did the same, but with the 1930s, and now it's March, and we have moved up to the 1940s. I thought, since I've started this booktube channel, I would attempt to do a reading vlog, like everyone else does for all their read-a-thons that they do, except for all of them are doing read-a-thons together, and I am doing a read-a-thon for one. If anyone wants to join me next month for the 1950s, let's go. But yeah, and I'm gonna continue doing these decades up until 2010, the books that I have to read for this week. Starting with a book that was written in the 1940s is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. I will be honest and say that I do not know anything about this book. I was Googling books written in the 1940s, and a list popped up of like the best written, the top rated books, like books that everyone still loves now that were written then, and yada yada yada. And this was one of them. And the title and the cover, even though it's really grainy and like weird, it intrigued me. So we're gonna see what this book's about. My second physical book, I only have 2 physicals and I have 3 ebooks, but for my other physical book, it is a book set in the 1940s. Now this is a very loose set in the 1940s because only part of it is, but I'm gonna say it counts because I've wanted to read this book. And that is Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. I do know a little bit of it is in the 1940s, so we're counting it. And then for my 3 ebooks, I picked some simpler books to read, some smaller books. I have a children's book and 2 Nancy Drew books. And the children's book is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint. Sorry, butchered that name really bad with my southern accent or whatever. And then I have 2 Nancy Drews. And Nancy Drew was written from the 1930s all the way up to the early 2000s. So I just picked 2 that were in my decade that I can read in. I picked The Ghost of Blackwood Hall and The Mystery of the Moss-Covered Mansion. So those 3 ebooks shouldn't be too difficult to read because they're really short. So hopefully I'll be able to read 5 books this week. I guess I should update you. This is actually Monday. I started it yesterday, going from yesterday all the way to Saturday. But I'm starting filming today because my husband was home, and even though he's very supportive, the thought of filming in front of him was very embarrassing. But I just want to get used to filming by myself before I bring another person to watch me film like in real time. So yeah, yesterday I didn't do a lot of reading for this read-a-thon. I started The Mystery of the Moss-Covered Mansion though, and then halfway through it, not halfway, like a third of the way through it, they were talking about something that was made, like an actual thing that was made, and it said it was made in the 1950. And I was like, this book was written in 1941. How do they know something that was written in 1950? Like, is she a time traveler? No. Turns out I'm reading the revised edition that was written or revised in 1971. So, but I'm still gonna count it because the cover's really cute and it was originally written in 1941. So it counts for me to upload a video today. But other than that, we're just gonna be reading. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I just uploaded my second video onto my channel, and to distract me from that and to not think about how panicked I am about actually doing that, I had lunch. I had some soup. My Kindle is still charging, so I can't continue the book that I was reading, so we're gonna just move right along and start A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. I have some water in a gorgeous mug. Just gonna show this off. The Disneyland 60th anniversary mug, the diamond edition. I did not go to Disneyland for the 60th anniversary. I got this from my outlet mall. Very much on sale. But I like to pretend that I went there during that time. Never actually been to Disneyland. I've just gone to Disney World a whole bunch. But hopefully that will change soon. But that's not what this vlog's about. And I also have some goldfish and a book and a blanket and a cuddly puppy. And so let's just go ahead and read. So, we just finished reading the first 2 chapters, yes, and we are enjoying it so far. We follow a main character named Francie, and she's 11, and she wants to read a book every day, alphabetically, so she can read all the books, and I just love that. Love that for her. Those are honest to goodness, like, the best goals ever. Oh, okay, well. And so now we're gonna take a little break and we're gonna go outside and play, aren't we? Good morning. It is day 2, or day 3 of the read-a-thon, day 2 of filming. And I'm feeling a lot better today. I'm excited to get started with reading for today. So yesterday I read 176 pages of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Loving that so far. I don't think it would be a book that if I had read the synopsis I would pick it up. But now that I have, like, if it was to end right now, 5 stars. So yeah, I can't wait to finish that. And then I'm 102 pages into The Mystery of the Moss-Covered Mansion, and that one's just funny. Hopefully I will finish both of those books today, because I'm over the 50% mark on both of them. Pretty sure.
And so hopefully finish those today. I have the audiobook for A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, so I can listen to that while I do some other stuff that I have planned to do today, and you can come along with me. See you next time I actually pick up a book.
You ready to make some bread? Yeah? You ready to make some bread? Yeah. Sorry, you can't. Your paws are dirty. Okay, so it's been a little bit. I had lunch and tried to paint my nails, but they're already messed up. So we're just gonna ignore those. But now I'm going to listen to the audiobook for A Tree Grows in Brooklyn while I make some bread. Let's quit our talking and listen to this amazing book.
She stopped watching for Mr. Tomlin to come home on Saturday nights from his New York jaunts. All of a sudden, she thought it was silly that he lived so and went to New York and came home longing for where he had been. He had money. Why didn't he just go over to New York and live there if he liked it so much? Everything was changing. Francie was in a panic. Her world was slipping away from her, and what would take its place? Still, what was different anyhow?
Kira. Hi.
Hello. Don't know if you can see my head, but it is morning, day something. It's Wednesday. And so, as you can see, this box over here is very torn up and very sad looking. So we've gotten a new box that's big and empty, and I figured I would jazz it up, where it's not just a, oh, here is coming through. I would jazz it up, and to where it's not just a normal box. While I do this, we can talk. I think yesterday I finished A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, and I kept going back and forth between the audiobook and the physical copy, and I finally finished it, and ow. I know, afterwards I was like, okay, now I can finish Nancy Drew, but I was just like, I needed to process what I had, stop. I needed to process what I had read, so I was like, I could try to force myself to read Nancy Drew, so that way I can get it done and say I did that, and then today start the other books, but I don't know, it just felt really weird to do that. It felt inauthentic. Garrett, this is not your toy. No, I need this. I decided instead I would play Stardew Valley with my husband, because we hadn't in a while, and it's kind of a stressful time for both of us because of the whole coronavirus thing. This is not a toy, no. And so, yeah, we just relaxed and played some Stardew Valley and enjoyed spending time together. Which, I mean, we do all the time, but it was just nice.
to not be scrolling through Twitter and Instagram and getting all these emotions from either people talking about the coronavirus or like seeing people deliberately not social distancing and bragging about it. I mean, I get that social distancing for me is my everyday life. Like, I rarely ever leave the house anyway, even when it is a normal, non-pandemic-y type of day. And so, like, this is nothing new for me. And I get for other people it's a little bit difficult, but I guess I just don't understand why it's so difficult and why people have to brag about it just blows my mind to see people actively going on vacation because it's an extended spring break. No. It's a spring break where you stay in your house. I just felt like it would probably be weird if I posted this and didn't talk a little bit about the thing that is literally taking over. I'm talking about all this while I'm still trying to tie one knot. Hi. Trying to make some stuff to hang in your house, you know? New boxes don't last long in here, do they? I know. No, they don't. Kira. So, it's Wednesday, and that means only 2 more days till Animal Crossing comes out. Can't come out at any better time. I just think they should go ahead and release it now, you know? I mean, it's 2 days. I can wait, but I don't know if I really can. That is not today. Today, I am planning on reading, finishing the Nancy Drew, probably, and I'll probably try to, I'm not gonna try. I will start I'm gonna try to start the other Nancy Drew and the Little Prince. Let's see how far I can get in those. But Bagheera! We got 2 dangly bits, and then the rest is free for them to chew up. Now that that's over with, got some cute bunny footage. It's now time to read. Is that right, Mowgli? So we'll do another little montage of us reading, but this time we're reading off of my Kindle, which is the sticker on the back. That says, all this reality is really getting into my reading, or cutting into my reading time. I just finished the Nancy Drew, and that book was crazy. Like, it just, oh my goodness, so many different things happened. I was updating my Goodreads with adding that I finished A Tree Grows in Brooklyn and this Nancy Drew, and I realized I passed the halfway point for my Goodreads goal for this year. This year I've always put it at 50 books, and I've usually read, 2018 I read like 54, 2019 I read like 56, so I was like, that's a good like mark. But I'm already halfway to 50, and it's March, so
that's crazy. And then also, this morning or actually just a few minutes ago, I looked on my Instagram and I noticed a comment on one of my posts that I talked about the overdue life of Amy Byler, and the author commented on it. Kelly Harms. Oh, forgot her last name, but you know. And I kind of got a little starstruck. I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm kind of feeling great because that just happened. And nothing can bring down this day now. Yeah, I want to put that on this video so that way I can remember it forever.
It is Thursday of my 1940s reading week, and I'm almost done. It's already noon. I look at my wrist, but I have literally nothing here. I don't know why I did that. But it's already noon. I'm fixing to eat something, and there's people out there. He wants to watch the people, so we're gonna let him watch the people. But I've just been so frazzled today because tomorrow Animal Crossing comes out, and I had a feeling like after it comes out I'm not gonna get a lot of reading done, but like I haven't been able to get a lot of reading done today either. I finished The Little Prince yesterday, 4 stars, and it was a lot deeper than I thought it was gonna be. And so I just read that all day on and off. I wasn't trying to rush it or anything because I still have today, tomorrow, and Saturday to finish the last 2 books. And so this morning I started the mystery of the Blackwood Mansion, at the Blackwood Mansion. The Ghost of Blackwood Hall. One of those is the title. I started reading that this morning and I'm like halfway through it. And then I picked up the audiobook as well for Life After Life, just so that way I can, since it is a pretty big book and I don't know how much reading I'll get to after Animal Crossing comes out. So my bookmark fell. So I got the audiobook and I tried to start listening to it while I was sewing. My brain couldn't comprehend the words that I was hearing, so I just stopped. But I made a book cover. It's a little short, but I mean, it works. So it's a little shabby, but you know, it's okay. So like, here's this book, and just sits nice and snugly in there. Like you can see a little bit of the top, but that's fine. Okay. Excuse the way I look. It is noon, 12:05 actually, on March 20th, the day of New Horizons, and it's such a good day. Oh, I didn't realize how much I needed this. It's great. Last night I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw that it was saying 1 hour until New Horizons releases in North America. And I was like, it's 10 o'clock. Like, I saw someone ask, like, does it release for everybody or is it just by time zones? And they were like, no, it releases for everybody at that hour. So it was like, so I like start freaking out and literally start bawling because it was coming sooner than I thought, and I don't know. All the emotions came and I was just crying. And so I played it for a little bit last night and I
filmed some of it so that way I can keep it forever. Oh my goodness. Is it letting me? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Look at that. It's a little island. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm excited to be here too. Hello, Timmy and Tommy. I know. I missed you so much. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. I woke up this morning, like, just super early, wide awake, and I was like, we gotta get up. We gotta play. We got an island waiting for us. So that's what I've been doing all day. But I think I've done all I can do because I don't want to time travel. And so I'm gonna try to spend the rest of the day reading. Don't know how well that will go because my head is just in Animal Crossing mode, but we'll try. I only have one book left. I can't remember if I updated you saying I finished reading the Nancy Drew. It was good. I liked it. Nothing too special though. Like, I'm not gonna remember it. But I have Life After Life to keep me company to the end of this read-a-thon, and I have today and tomorrow to read this. And I have the audiobook, so I'm not too worried. I should be able to get this done. But it's also a pretty big book, so I'm not gonna beat myself up if I don't. Now I want to show you my my person. Okay. Yeah. I'm becoming a gaming channel, guys. But no, this is me. Here, let's see. Let's see if we can get. Let's use this camera and just like zoom in. Look at me. I look so cute. And you can see my little fish right there. He's just staring up. He's like, oh dear goodness, help me. But my two villagers are first, hold on, all over the place. Let me show you my map. This is my map. My island is called Kingdom. That is the name I do for every single first town. All the first towns that I've had in Animal Crossing games and Stardew Valley, they've been called a kingdom. So, yeah. But my villagers are Angie and Lyman. This is so cute. Let's see if we can see them. I've been taking, there he is, he's fishing. I've been bugging them all day, but I'm gonna, let's see, where is, and I just let them put their houses wherever because I wasn't, hi, because haven't really figured out, there she is, hi, oh my goodness.
So, my reading week of reading books either written or set in the 1940s has come to an end.
a lot sooner than I thought it would. I mean, it's Saturday, it's the last day anyway, but I ended up DNFing the last book. I ended up DNFing Life After Life at page 189. I guess we're just gonna get through it quick, and then we can talk about the other books. But, I'm really disappointed that I DNF'd this, because I was really enjoying it. I really liked the concept and everything, but at the scene right before page 189 and like around that area, that's a scene and like it's a type of event or whatever that I have come to realize that I'm very, very sensitive to, and it's just not healthy for me to read about. After reading that, it is, our main character, Ursula, is, sexually assaulted, and it describes it, and that's just not something, it's not good for my mental health to read that in books. I don't think it's a bad book, but I also don't think I can enjoy it as much anymore. Yeah, so I DNF'd that. It's kind of tricky because in A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, main character Francie at some point runs into a bad situation. Even though I was very uncomfortable reading it and did not want to be reading it, her mother does come down the stairs, sees what's happening, and shoots the guy. It's hard for me to explain why Life After Life is DNF'd when I gave A Tree Grows in Brooklyn 5 stars. But I guess I don't really have to explain myself. It may just be me being real sensitive, but I do want other people to know, especially if they're going to pick the book up on my recommendation, that they know what's in it, even if it is something that even I could handle, like in this one. Because like I said, I gave this book 5 stars and I loved it so much. And I think the reason I loved it is in this book, we follow our main character, Francie, and we basically follow her through her life, through good ways, and it's just like her life and different things that happen and stuff like that. And like, I am so terrible at, after I finish a book, even if I love the book, forgetting characters and forgetting their names. Like, I may like know of a character and like, okay, this person said this, but I can't remember their name. So it's very weird. I remember these characters. I remember their names. I just felt like I was like hanging out with someone I knew. Even though this book isn't really plot driven, which is what I typically go for. This book was still so entertaining. Like, even though it was written in the 40s, like, and it was set in the early 1900s. I don't know, it didn't feel that strange. Some of the wording was a little strange, but that was it. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the ebooks that I read, because we've already talked about my 2 physical books. And the ebooks I read, we'll first start with The Little Prince. I gave that book 4 stars, and it was a lot deeper and heavier of a book than I expected from a children's book. It made me think, but it was still like whimsical and like far off. Like you could really like think and make it like apply to like our everyday lives, or it could just be a whimsical tale about a kid who lives on a planet and goes around to all these other planets and stuff like that. And then finally, we you may have read these along, but I read 2 Nancy Drews, and I gave them both 3 stars. I can definitely see from reading both of them that you can tell that they were written by 2 different people and that they were ghostwriters. But there's also a specific formula, like, that they follow. But one of the funny things was, like, in the Moss-Covered Mansion one, Nancy Drews described as an 18-year-old, like, strawberry blonde haired girl. And then in the Blackwood Hall one, she's described as a Titan haired girl. And I had to like look that up. I was like, what is tightened hair? Like I was thinking like, and remember the Titans, and like that's not a hair color. But no, it's like a brownish red. It was weird. So the Moss-Covered Mansion, that book was insane. And I mean insane because literally it felt like there was 20 different things happening all at the same time, and a new one was being added every other page. So it was like there's just all these things happening, and it's just like, oh, it all ties into this one thing. It was like they were following 2 different mysteries, but then the mysteries came together. Then they were actually one, which I thought was neat. People just act strangely. Like, everyone just acts so suspicious in that book. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's going to be rememberable. It was just like everything happening at once. And I think that was just so funny. And also the drawings. The drawings were hilarious. And then the Blackwood Hall one, I also gave 3 stars. It wasn't as wild and wacky as the Moss-Covered Mansion one, but that one seemed more like, I don't know, that one just didn't make sense as much. Like, the Moss-Covered Mansion one, yeah, it felt like 2 different mysteries and just a lot was happening, but, like, it made sense. And in this one, it was like no one was telling her anything, but yeah, she was picking up on things. And, like, maybe that's just what a good detective is. I don't know. But it didn't feel real. It didn't feel like this could actually happen. There's ghosts in it, but obviously they're not actually ghosts. And, like, they're explained, but I still don't get it. Like, there's, like, some fog and some oil, and it emits a green light, and then they look like ghosts. But yet they're still people, and there's a fishing pole. It was just a lot. That one I didn't enjoy as much, but it was still a fun, wild ride. May pick up another Nancy Drew sometime. So I read 4 books this week, and I DNF'd 1, but I think that is great. Like, I am not feeling bad for myself at all. 4 books in a week. Yes, please. Next month, I'm gonna try to do the 1950s, but we'll see, because my sources are gonna be very limited to find the books that I'm wanting to read, because everything may still be like on super lockdown. As of now, I'm still doing my 1950s read-a-thon, and I am going to do it during, I'll have the week in the description that I'm planning on doing it. And if you're wanting to do it with me, or you're just curious about if I'm actually going to do it, I'll keep you updated on my Instagram, which will also be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was not a hot mess. I hope it's understandable, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you have a great morning or evening whenever you're watching this. Please stay safe, wash your hands, and if you can, stay inside, and let's just read together. I will see you in my next video. Bye!